Hey there, everybody. So, I wanted to take a quick moment and try to explain the concept of passing by reference. I know we had a lot of issues with that in class, so I was hoping that maybe I could explain it. We're going to be doing it with a program that we previously worked with in our textbook, which is the stadium seating program. The program says, or the instruction says, there are three seating categories at a stadium. For a softball game, Class A seats cost $15, Class B seats cost $12, and Class C seats cost $9. It asked to design a modular program that asked how many tickets for each class of seats were sold, and then display the amount of income generated from the ticket sales. So we're going to start this off with the main module, and I'm going to go through the process of showing you what the skeleton program looks like, and then we're going to jump down into building the modules, and we're going to come back up and call those modules. So here you see we've assigned our main module, and then we have our declaration section. The way I like to build my programs is to establish a declaration section, an input section, a calculate section, and then a display section. If we're not doing a calculation, it kind of works different ways, but for this one, we've got to declare our variables, have an input section, calculate, and display. It's real small because you're setting up the entire program as a modular program. Ignore what the modules are called with the variables and the assignment list, etc. We'll get back to that. So let's move down. You see here where it says in module, this is the end of the main module. Okay, and now we get into the building of our modules. So our first module, if you look, we've got our input section. Our first module is get number of tickets sold. This module asks users to input or enter the number of tickets sold for three types of seats. Notice that we use the reserved keyword ref to define the parameters of this module. This is because we want to pass these values back to the main module later. So when we get into building it, you're going to see module get number of tickets sold, and here's that keyword real ref class A ticket number. Next, we're going to display enter the number of tickets sold, or enter the number of tickets for Class A seats. And we're going to have our input Class A ticket number. Here we ask the user to input the number of Class A tickets sold. The value that the user inputs is then stored in the variable Class A ticket number. Because we are passing this value by reference, we will be able to use those variables and the values they store when we call on this module later. This process replicates for Class B and Class C tickets. And here you see this is the end. So our module to get the number of tickets sold, if you take a minute and look at it, it's simple. We declare, or excuse me, we are passing by reference Class A ticket number, Class B ticket number, and Class C ticket number. We ask the user to input the number of tickets sold for each class of seats, and then we store that value in each variable, Class A, Class B, and Class C. So if we move down to the second module, which is now calculate the total income. Remember, our first module was to get the user to input, and our second module is to calculate the total income from the number of tickets sold. Notice here, we only use the keyword ref to pass the total income variable back to the main module. That's here, okay? All other variables are being passed from the get number of tickets sold module. So if you notice, calculate total income, we're using Class A ticket number, Class B ticket number, and Class C ticket number from the previous module. We're calculating the total income or the total revenue from that, and then we're going to return that total income value back to the main module. So here you see where we declare revenue from ticket A, revenue from ticket B, and revenue from C ticket. We could have declared these at the beginning of the main module. However, it makes more sense to declare these variables inside of this module where they're going to be used. Therefore, we consider these to be local variables, which just means they're local to this module only. After declaring our local variables, we now use assignment statements to calculate the revenue from each ticket type sold. So we've declared our variables within the module. Now we're going to calculate it. So set revenue from A ticket equals Class A ticket number times 15, which $15 is the amount per ticket. We do that with B and C. Next, if you look at this, we said we were going to pass by reference the value or the variable total income. So now we're setting or assigning a value to total income and calculating it. So the total income equals revenue from A ticket plus revenue from B ticket plus revenue from C ticket. And here you're going to see where we use a return statement, return total income. You'll see a lot of this, like I said, more in chapter 6 when writing with functions. But for now, this will suffice. And here we end the module for calculating total income. So to recap real quick, within our modules, we've got our module to get the number of tickets sold. We ask for the user input. We store that value in the variable assigned to each style of ticket, so Class A, Class B, and Class C. Now we move into our calculate module where we pass by reference the number of tickets sold, so we're using that in the calculate module, and we are declaring local variables and then using the local variables and the Class A, Class B, and Class C ticket number variables that we pass by reference to calculate that total. After we do that, then we set the total income and we return that to the main module. Our third and final module is the display total income module. Here, we returned total income to the main module, and you see it again being called upon by the module display total income. And here you simply write display the total income. Let me fix this. From all ticket sales is total income. And we end the module. Moving up, so we're done with the modules. Now we got to get into finalizing the main module. Only after the 3 modules are complete can you finalize the main module with correct variable declarations and other statements. If you go in and you declare all your variables at the beginning of your program, and then you get into calling your modules before you build them, you're going to find yourself doing a lot more work because you realize that you declared local variables outside of modules, and you're going to end up doing twice as much work. So we go back up to our input section, and our input section calls the get number of tickets sold. And remember, we passed it by reference. Let's go back down. Real ref, so we pass that by reference. And when we call it, we're calling it. Note, when we call on a module, we don't use keywords real or ref in the argument list. You only put variable names for literals in the argument list. When you're calling a module, this is the argument list. When you build the module, this is the parameters. So, calling a module, argument, building the module, parameters. You have to have the same number of arguments as you do parameters. So if you were to call get number of tickets sold and only had Class A ticket number, but in the module you had 3 parameters, then the program wouldn't function. It wouldn't be able to call the module. So here it's simple. Call get number of tickets sold. Our arguments are Class A ticket number, Class B ticket number, and Class C ticket number. When that's called, that module will execute. Our second is to calculate the total income. We call calculate total income, Class A ticket number, Class B ticket number, and Class C ticket number. If you go down to the calculate, we pass those, but we didn't use reference. We passed them by value. And then we return the total income. Go back up. Our last module is the display module, which is to call display total income, and module. I'm going to include all the notes that I've made while writing this program, and I hope that this helps you guys really understand display or passing by reference versus passing by value, and how and when to pass by reference.